My name's Gill. I'm the Service Desk Manager for Hampshire Fire and Rescue Service. We've got in the region of 1,800 employees spread over 51 sites. It's never the same. I cannot guarantee from day to day what's going to happen. Each day you walk through that door, it's going to be different, and it's always going to be a challenge. As part of the government funding, we're expected to make reductions. We've got to find those savings within contracts, within services that we're providing, without losing the standards. Our previous solution needed to be moved to a more up-to-date server, and we were having difficulties with that. It was the ideal time to make that big step. When Service Manager was first shown to us, my initial reaction was, wow, this is fantastic. It had everything that we were hoping for. All my Christmases had come at once. It was almost like, I want it now. And when the day finally arrived that we started work on it, I was such a bore. I just kept on about it to everyone, and I still am. My team, when they first started using it, you could hear them going, that's so much better. Look at that. How do I do this? One of the things that made us take that leap was obviously the 30-day onboarding offer, and that we would be guided all the way through the process. I don't have to take into account hosting costs that are always going up, licensing costs that go up, being able to have asset manager within the system, being able to have a document management system within the tool, being able to have process flows. It just fitted so well with a service desk, and also the fact that we didn't have to worry about updates. It's such a fantastic system that is actually costing us less than the system we had before, and it's giving us so much more. I think in the first month we actually hit 94% of our calls were actually resolved within their given SLA.
My name's Katie Collard, and I am an IS support analyst with Hampshire Fire and Rescue. My first impression of the Service Manager was it was very easy to use. The first time I went on, I hadn't really used the test one, and I just went on and I was able to log calls, close calls, see what was going on without any assistance. The thing that I find that helps me most is I'm able to report on just my calls. So if I'm wanting to see what calls I'm working on currently, I can run a report and just pull back my calls. Or if I'm trying to help somebody with a call that somebody else has been logged, I can do the same with theirs and look straight through the calls that person has. With the collaboration on the service desk, I find that it's very easy to notify my colleagues if I've done something to their call, because I can just put in a comment for them and then it will go straight to them and they'll get an update to let them know that I've put something in their call. So it makes it working on the same calls a lot easier. And you can both update at the same time.
The biggest benefit for my team with Hornbill Service Manager is how easily they can communicate with each other. We used to do an awful lot of call passing. It goes from A to B to C, and whoever catches it last has to deal with it. In Hornbill Service Manager, you can actually do a comment where you put an @ symbol and then type the person's name and they get a notification. The call stays with you, but somebody has an activity that they have to do to it. With them being a young team, they're into Facebook, they're into this whole social media web, and that's the way they're viewing it. They don't mind the idea of an update and doing a comment. They were picking that up before me. Whereas me, I'm thinking, right, that's a diary update. And they go, no, it's a Facebook page. Just get with it, Jill. They are a lot more interested in looking at their boards to find out how many calls they resolved compared to the person that sits next to them. They are really quite competitive about it now. The Hornbill app has meant that our engineers, when they're out in the field, they can update the calls. They don't have to go to a computer terminal and log on. They can even reassign it to someone. So it will make their working so much easier and so much more reactive. I like the way that Service Manager is constantly being improved. It's actually to my benefit that if another customer of Hornbill says, could you do that in Service Manager? They might have looked at something and seen something that I never even thought of, but it's actually an improvement for me. Simple things like the bookmarks. You've got something called Harry Hornbill that actually tells you about new things. I don't perceive the fact that Hornbill is continually evolving Service Manager and updating it as a risk. For me, it's taken the pain of applying updates, testing them, because that's all done for me. And it also means that it's just not me that's looking at things saying, is this a good idea? There is lots of other companies doing that for me, so they might pick up on something that I haven't spotted yet. If anybody else is thinking about moving to Service Manager, it's a no-brainer. Do it. You don't have to worry about updating. You don't have to worry about server hosting. You can add and use seats for your actual team as and when you need them. The onboarding process, the 30-day, being free, what have you got to lose? The benefits you'll find from Service Manager are unbelievable. Do it.